Hi everyone, it's Leslie. I wanted to share a story. It's a testimony actually of God's love and mercy. There was a time when I had this bone in my mouth that was protruding out in the back and it was really hurting and it seemed like it was getting bigger and bigger. And I needed a miracle in my mouth. In the same time, I was invited to go to a women's meeting. It was going to be held at Marie Callender's in the conference room years ago. So a few pastors and ladies, they were all there. And I went in and sat down. I invited some guests. And one of them was running really late. So as I sat down and they were getting ready to start the meeting, my mouth gets stuck. And I'm all, and that's literally how I was. So they go around to introduce people and they get to me. And I literally can't speak clearly. And I'm like, hi, my name is Leslie and my mouth is stuck. It's stuck. And my friend next to me, she's all, her mouth is stuck. And everybody starts cracking up. And there was women like that had huge trauma in their lives, gotten out of jail, maybe they were in addiction recovery homes and getting their lives back together there. And so I didn't know until later that some of those women had never laughed in years. So as the room busted out in laughter, then some of those ladies were laughing. Well, then this late friend who was running late comes in and she didn't know what went on. So she goes to look for a chair and there's no chairs. So she walks in the center of the whole U of tables and she spins around, sits on the floor and she's all, I'm stuck. And she throws her hands in the air. And then boom, laughter just fills the room. And I'm like going, God, what's going on? Why is my mouth stuck like this? And God is not saying anything to me. He's just doing what he does. You know, how many of you know Psalm 115 says, but God, he resides in heaven, but he does as he pleases. He could do anything he wants, okay? It was so powerful. But anyways, she goes and sits down. Finally, they bring her a chair. So she sits down and they ask her, what do you want to drink? And in front of everybody, she's all, I'll take a beer. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. And here my mouth is stuck. It's like, and in my heart though, I'm going, no way, God. Are you kidding me? I invited this girl. She's embarrassing me. She's ordering a beer and it's a Christian women's meeting. Anyway, so she goes to the bathroom and I'm like, I'm going in there and I am going to give her a piece of my mind. She knows better because we had been accountability partners at a point in her life. And so we knew everything about each other. And I was like, what is going on? So I went in there and I was walking there actually. And I'm like arguing with God in my heart. And then all of a sudden the Lord's like, really? You're going to go in there and give her a piece of your mind about what you're thinking and why? And would you rather her have a heroin needle in her arm? What if this is part of her process? And I was like, oh my gosh, I was judging. I was like being a religious person, not being merciful, not being willing to just go in and acknowledge that she was there and grateful that she was there and maybe she would be touched, not even giving God the glory for her being there, regardless of if she ordered a beer or not. I was so just grown away in that moment and I got so convicted and I went, and all of a sudden my mouth unstuck and I was so repentant with the Lord. My mouth was completely healed. And I ended up going in the bathroom and I just told her, I said, you have no idea how God is using you. I go, but he's using you today. And she's like, I know. And she turned around and walked out. And you know what? It was a wonderful meeting. But what I had to tell you is that God used